Hey folks, let's learn some more about the oil and gas industry. All right, this is a monthly program where we answer emails. So these are actually June emails. First one, what are some marketing tips for the oil and gas industry? All right, a couple of things are real important for your marketing efforts. Number one is focus on your target customer. There are so many different variables in this industry, and there's so many different segments that you need to have a laser focus on who your potential buyer is. Understand their problems and then pitch your product to solve those specific problems. Number two, build strategic partnerships. Doing business in this industry is hard for new companies that have never done it before. So if you can partner with somebody that's already selling in the oil and gas industry, that gives you a lot of street credibility and it'll help you get in front of the right people much quicker. And then finally, engage with your sales team. Too many of the people that I talk to, their marketing and sales groups don't communicate. The sales teams are vital to get customer information that is real. So not just data on a spreadsheet somewhere, but actually what are the customers looking for? What issues are they need to be solved? So if you do those three things, that'll go a long way in your marketing efforts in the oil and gas market. Number two, what is fishing? So I know it sounds ridiculous that there's a part of the industry called fishing, but it's really quite simple. So anytime you're drilling a hole in the ground, think of a well bore, if you drop something down that hole, it gets in your way. So whatever you would drop down an oil well while it's being drilled, think of a tool or a piece of drill stem or some debris, it's called a fish. And fishing is the process of retrieving that debris from the well bore so that drilling can continue. In the old days, it was really kind of crude. They would basically shove some hooks or some magnets on the end of a drill stem and try to drill through whatever it was they dropped down the hole. Nowadays, it's pretty damn sophisticated. They use cameras, they get impressions. There's a multitude of tools that they lower down the hole to remove that fish. So that's what fishing is. Number three, what is a jackup? A jackup is a rig that, when it's working, is suspended on top of fixed legs. But when it's not working, they can retract the legs and the rig itself can actually move around. Some of them are self-propelled and other ones are big enough where they use a tugboat, but it makes it quick and easy to get a rig started with a jackup. Now the limitations of a jackup is they can't go in very deep water. About 300, 350 feet is the deepest you can use a jackup in. And number four, how do I put together a great sales presentation? All right, I see this one screwed up all the time. When you're putting a sales presentation together, you need to focus on the problem. In fact, 80% of your presentation should be on the problem, not on the solution. And then another 15% of your presentation should actually be on the benefit. And then finally, 5 or 10% should be on the actual solution, what you actually sell. I see way too many sales teams screw it up and spend 3/4 of their time talking about the bells and whistles of their solution. Clients don't want to hear that. And then 5, would Halliburton be a good company for us to target to introduce a new technology to the oil and gas market? Halliburton is about a $25 billion a year company, about 100,000 employees globally. They're a bit of a big old ship, but they're in a very competitive environment with companies like Baker Hughes, Weatherford, Schlumberger. So if you bring a technology to them that gives them a competitive advantage, and if you're talking to the right person, yeah, they'll have an interest in it. So a lot of the technology companies that I engage with, whether they're software or hardware, typically we target the service companies first because they're the first adopters of the new technology, because then they take it and use it to serve their clients, which are the big, super majors and independents, Anadarko, Shell, Exxon. So in the right situation, Halliburton would absolutely be a great client to target. So finally, I kind of want to end this show. I had a discussion with my friend the other day who happens to be a preacher. And he has a son that's 18 years old. And like most 18-year-olds these days, he really has no idea where he's going in life. So my friend, his dad, thought he would do a little experiment. He placed a dollar bill, a bottle of whiskey, a Playboy centerfold on the kid's nightstand and waited to see what happened when his boy came home. The way he was figuring, if the boy picked up the dollar bill first, he was probably going to be a businessman. If he picked up the centerfold first, he's probably going to be chasing skirts his whole life. And if he picked up the bottle of whiskey, he's probably going to be a drunkard. So he waited, and the son came home, and the son picked up the dollar bill, stuck it in his pocket, opened the bottle of whiskey, took a big swallow, and was looking at the Playboy centerfold. And my friend looked at me and goes, "Oh my God, he's becoming an oil field worker."